What's up, Pikes Peak Rc Arena? It is Robbie here to give you guys the latest and greatest news for the Pikes Peak Rc Arena, located right at my place in Colorado Springs. All right, Pikes Peak Rc Arena, man, I got some super awesome, cool news. I've been gathering throughout the week and stuff like that. I've been waiting to announce it. I had to get some of my numbers correct, so on and so forth. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you watch the intro of this video, man, I'm going to tell you right now, got some awesome winners out there. I want to start off with the QSAC. All right, QSAC. I'm telling you right now, these quarter scale midget oval drivers, man, these guys are awesome. They travel all around doing all this great stuff. Randy, his wife Laurel, Donnie, Polly, man, I'll tell you what, they went out and did some cool oval racing and took home some hardware. And when I say some hardware, a lot of hardware and two big cups, two big humongous cups. And congrats to you guys out there. Again, it's in the intro video. Look at them, it's pretty awesome and stuff like that. Donnie posing with my cool paint job on his truck that I did for him. And speaking of big cups, oh my goodness, talk about a awesome race. Watching it on the live with Russ. All right, my opinion, my sole opinion, and I'm sure a lot of y'all agree. Russ taking the 21.5 national championship again. Best 2 out of 3, TQ'd as well too. So again, in my honest opinion, 21.5 national champ. If you look at the picture in the beginning, he has a huge cup as well too. I think I posted up in there with them drinking out of it at a restaurant with his fellow Team Powers crew and stuff like that, and it was super duper awesome. Art Screamer was out there with him too. I want to say he was P4 and P9 and P4 in 21.5, so I want to say he was about 2 positions back from Russ, or 3 positions back, and started and ended off pretty awesome as well too. I'm not sure how he did with Stadium Truck. Again, there was a lot of competition out at that national championship. So again, congrats to both of our drivers out there that went out to Island Raceway. And I'll tell you what, man, awesome watching it online. That was an awesome track. All right. And then, oh man, this past Wednesday, boy, I was out of the groove. I was just not in it. Golly, a lot of hiccups. But I managed to take 3rd place with the techno in my main, and yeah, I still got a lot more to learn. Again, 8 scale is totally different from me driving 10 scale, especially on carpet. So again, man, had a great time still. I also did a live video on that one. It was pretty cool, and I also got to announce that one. So they asked me if I wanted to announce, and I was like, yeah, sure. You know, we had enough marshals out there, and yeah, and went ahead and announced the race on that, which was actually very fun, memorable, and a lot of hilarious moments with that. So if you guys watched the live video on that, I posted it this Wednesday. It's actually pretty cool and pretty fun to watch. All right, but again, congrats to all our winners this week. Not to mention everybody else that has won in their respectable races and stuff like that. Again, Cole had his race out there. I think I seen Hector place a #1 podium in buggy and stuff like that. Congrats to Hector. Seen Xavier, he's got a podium as well too. A couple others, I forget, but again, those are the 2 that caught my eye. Eric Adams, I'm sure he has his out there with the More Mafia crew out there racing and stuff like that. And again, 5280 coming up again September 4th. Will be their first race. So I'm going to say that will be a Thursday, and then going into Saturday, again, the times are almost just like what we had at the Pikes Peak Rc Arena. And again, Wednesday, they do have a track change. And if you guys are in the vicinity, give Art a hand, as we have given Corey a hand with the volunteers that we had over there at the Pikes Peak Rc Arena. Greatly appreciated if you guys give Art and his guys a hand setting up the track. Again, it builds a good bond, creates good friendship and stuff like that, and you're always, you know, being the eyesight of, you know, that good-hearted, good karma type person. All right, everybody, man, God, there's so many congrats out there. It's just, man, it's super excited to see all our Colorado drivers traveling all around and experiencing so much fun out there. Again, I'm on a work trip right now. I'm not making the best of it with these two bad boys here. Gotta tell you what, Techno, boy, they are some beefy vehicles, because I take some hard jumps and I be casing it sometimes, or I'll be nose diving it. Again, I'm still in the learning phase with 8 scale, and I'm learning a lot of tips and tricks from the locals here, not to mention all my friends and race fam that are all back there in Colorado too. So again, greatly appreciated. Number one has to go out to Justin, again, helping me out a lot, honing my skill. Joe as well too, who's been right there with Justin, like his right hand man as well too. I'm getting a lot of advice from him and stuff like that. And I tell you what, man, without these guys, it would not be a memorable. It would not. It'd be very frustrating. And I see a lot of guys with that. And that's one thing I want to talk about in this video segment is honing your driving skills and what to do, what not to do, especially when you're at the track and stuff like that. And I see it a lot. I see a lot of frustration sometimes for those that are getting into racing and stuff like that and cannot figure out the car. And a lot of that comes with time on the track and then your setup and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, you don't have to be fast to win races. We've seen that a lot, and consistency is the key. Consistency is the key in getting out there, turning some laps, burning the carpet, shredding the dirt, sticking to the clay. Hey, whatever it is, time on the track again. Then look to your peers. Look to your peers for help. Always look to your peers for help. There's always somebody in the pits. Every time we get new drivers all the time. Anthony, I'll speak on Anthony. Anthony came to us driving Ford Tech, and boy, I tell you what, Corey helped him out, and then everybody else in the pits that are where he pits at, they all pitched in and helped him out, and it became a very good experience for him. Again, we see a lot of people, they get frustrated. I've seen cars getting thrown. I've seen people pack up their stuff and leave. I see, you know, their voices are heightened up, like they're angry at the person trying to help them out and stuff like that. Again, it comes down to consistency and then getting time on the track and having a good setup. All right, I get it. There are some drivers out there that are like, oh, I've been doing this for 20, 30 years, and then they can't get their car straight or can't get it right and get frustrated. And people like that, it's hard to approach people like that for the simple fact that they have that I've done it for 20 years mentality and stuff like that, when this is a totally different genre. Especially, I'm talking about carpet, coming from dirt. It's a totally different genre. And again, look to those, take the advice and stuff like that. There are a lot of bad habits out there as well too with driving and stuff like that. Driver etiquette. Golly, I've seen it a lot with the controller, where I'll see drivers, they'll turn and let go of their steering and then get right back onto it and then let go of it again and steer. And that is super duper bad habit of driving. And also, it's not good for the controller, because you could break the potentiometer and stuff like that, because it is, you know, you do have a spring that brings it back and forth, but it is a potentiometer that's in there, and you keep on letting go of it, it does that bounce back effect, and it can ruin the potentiometer and throw it way off. So again, try to break yourself always of that bad habit. That is one of the few bad habits that I've seen and experienced over at the track with a lot of the drivers, or I want to say a lot of drivers, a few of the drivers. All right, so I can probably pinpoint 3 drivers that do that, and it's very bad habit. And I know one driver has improved and doesn't do it anymore, but man, I got that one driver, just, I don't know, give that advice to, and does not. And then I'll see drivers out there, they'll blame the marshal, they'll blame the other cars and stuff like that, and when it comes down, it's really them. And then coming down to that driver etiquette, not staying consistent, not having the right setup. Again, look to the people in the pits, talk to the locals, talk to anybody and everybody, you know, get to know them, get to see what their setup is, see if that will help you. But again, everybody's driving style is completely different. So you got to find that in yourself and get that track time. All right, get that track time and get in there and be that better driver. Okay, and I know, I get it, not everybody can make it to the track every single day or every single week, so on and so forth. But again, just keep that consistency. As soon as you get to the track, especially on a race day, get onto the track, drive, see what it is, see what your vehicle is doing, see what you're doing, and then look for help, look for advice. There's always people there to give you guys advice. Like I always say, always look to advice. All right, again, don't change your setup so much, especially for the newer drivers. I see a lot of people that are adjusting this and are adjusting that. And if you're new to driving, try not to adjust so much, because I'm going to tell you right now, sometimes you might not even notice it unless you did some dramatic change, changing your toe that was in and all the way out, and that'll change the whole characteristic of the car and its drivability. Also, look into what people are doing via your pinion and spur gear size. All right, again, there are many different vehicles out there. Primarily would be Schumacher, TLR, and associated, and there is a bunch of drivers that drive all three of those vehicles. Get with them, see what they're using and stuff like that. All right, so again, faster is not always better. Again, I get that. Well, what's the one gear that'll get me the most speed? And it's not about the most speed. You know, you want to find that consistency. My driving style is totally different from the next person that's standing right next to me, to my right, vice versa to the person that's standing to my left when we're up on the driving stand. But I'll tell you right now, we'll have fun up there and stuff like that. One of my favorite people to drive against with is Andre's son, Justin. Man, one of the most. No, I love driving with Andre too. Very competitive. Nate was one of my favorite people to drive against with stuff, because we're all right there and it's fun and it's tight net driving. Buggy just recently, golly, John Carpenter, right before the track closed down, carpet, man. We just had a lot of fun driving there. Tight net racing, no different from on road. John and George, when we're driving LMH, our cars are right there, and all it takes is one little tap from any of us, and it throws us way off, and then we'll catch right back up and stuff like that, trying to find that super tight line. But again, faster is not always better. Consistency is the key. Look into your peers for advice and stuff like that. See what people are doing. Also, that goes with your diff fluids. I had a lot of advice from Andre on that one. Golly, your shock setups, your spring setups. Again, a lot of advice from David Jor and Zeke from Avid. Again, and driver characteristics, when to let off, when to get on power and stuff like that. Again, that coming from Art and Corey, golly, those guys just helped me a lot. And then tuning characteristics, a lot. I learned a lot from Brent Klingforth. So again, there's so many out there. I soak it all in, I take it all in. And then 8 Scale World, golly, I'm soaking it in from John Carpenter. I'm soaking it in from Van Crow, aka Swervin. Oh, again, Swerve out there in Wyoming. Congrats to Swerve out there. Golly, he did very, very well. I want to say he placed podium out there as well too. Out there in Wyoming, they did their 8 scale race. Totally forgot about that. Forgive me, Swerve. But again, I'll have that picture up in the beginning as well too, the intro. But again, learning a lot from these guys, especially from Justin Simonson, Joe, Rob P, Rafi. You know, Tim's the one. Tim, that is Rafi's partner over there at Extreme RC. He's the one that told me to look to Justin, and he knows how to set up a vehicle. I met Justin. He came in, bought all these tires, bought all this fuel for Wicked Weekend coming up, and then next you know, it was like bam. Very, very knowledgeable guy, very competitive guy, and very fun watching him drive along with Joe, along with Rob and Rafi and James. Man, I'll tell you what, those guys, man, they were at it, just going back and forth on that live video that I had previously over here at Extreme RC. And I'll do another video the coming Sunday, a live one. I'll get a little bit more out there, interact with more of the drivers, so you guys can see what who I drive with, who I'm hanging out with. And man, I'll tell you right now, it's no different from you guys back home in Colorado. Man, I do miss it, and I'm glad I'm here, because this is like my extended family of the racing community here at 8 Scale, and man, I love these guys out here. They're so fun to be with. I was hoping to drive today. Rafi was thinking about racing today, and then next, you know, I drove into a wall of water with all the rain. Oh my goodness, and it has not stopped. And Monk's Corner was another racetrack I was going to check out tomorrow. I was going to go with Joe, and hopefully James might have popped up. And I think Justin, he has to fly out somewhere, check on some rental property and stuff like that. But I'll hang out with Joe. He was like, man, you can pit over in my area. I'll have the generator, stuff like that, an extra table for you. And it looks like tomorrow now we're going to be rained out with 90% chance of rain. And it's been raining nonstop here in Charleston. It's just like I'm getting flash flood warnings all over my phone. So again, I'll have Wednesday coming up. I'll do a live video for you guys when I get out there, or I'll record and then I'll edit it and stuff like that. So I'm just going to have fun, share my experience of me driving around wherever I travel with you guys. All right. So again, I'm going to get probably working on the truggy here. I did not set up the diffs as instructed to, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I want to say we are doing a 15-15-10 on it. So because of the temperature here, and that's another thing, depending where you're at, the diff combination that I'm using here in South Carolina may not be the diff combination that be used in Colorado or somewhere else colder. Again, when it gets colder, you want to use thinner fluids, and then when it's hotter, you want to use thicker fluids. So again, I have to adjust. Hence why I told you guys in that last video that I drained all my shock fluids out, because I have to use a thicker fluid over here as opposed to being in Colorado. So like Colorado would probably be 35, 40, and over here, I want to say 42 and above. So again, I want to say for, golly, I forgot for on the degreeage of how to adjust and stuff like that. So I forget how that combination works, but I adjusted on that. But again, I sought with the locals here, again, Justin, Joe, Rafi, what to use out here and stuff like that, and they guided me in the right pathway. Again, I want to thank Justin. Boy, I'll tell you what, I came with my vehicles not calibrated. The EC's not calibrated completely accurately, and it was just like instantaneous punch. And that's another thing, doing your calibration endpoints and then getting your steering endpoints set up. And then Justin had me start at a lower rate, so that way I'm not overdriving the car, or it's not too much to handle. So then we drop it down to like an 80%, and then I'll go from there and adjust, maybe drop it down a little bit more so the car's more forgiving, but I can still clear the triples, the doubles, stuff like that. But the car will be more consistent for me and my driving style, and Justin's helping me and guiding me in that right direction, and that's what matters. Rafi, on the other hand, he's helping me out with my tires and stuff like that, what to use, what not to use, to include Justin as well too, or Joe I meant, helping me what to use and stuff like that. So hopefully I got the right combo. Did some gluing of tires the other day. I showed you guys that in the video. And then yeah, I was taking apart some rubber from the wheels, again, using the acetone trick and the tub and so on and so forth, and letting there, and then just pull the rubber off. So again, cannot do it without the help here where I'm at in South Carolina. No different from me being back home in Colorado, and no different from you guys needing advice or wanting advice, so on and so forth. So I highly advise, talk to your friends, talk to the other drivers, talk to your peers, always, and everybody will always be willing to help. All right, so again, that was my whole portion of the video segment right there. Again, I want to congrats to my personal opinion, the 21-5 national champion over at Island Raceway, Russ Johnson, followed by Art Scribo, who joined him in that race and that endeavor and stuff like that, starting in P4 and 21-5 right behind Russ, and then P9 in Stadium Truck, and then the QSAC or the QSAC, again, congrats to Randy, Laurel, Donnie, Polly, and that quarter scale dirt nationals that they did. Man, I tell you, like I said, these guys came home with a bunch of hardware and two big gigantic silver cups. Russ came home with a big gigantic silver cup. Golly, the cup was so, Russ's cup was so big, Art can go in it. You know, Art can fit in it. So again, awesome. Congrats to you guys. Not to mention Swervin, making that podium as well too up in Wyoming. I think Marcos was out there and a couple others. I hope you guys had a great time. If I find you guys' podiums, again, I will post it out there in the intro of the video. But again, hey, and then I got third place this past Wednesday. Again, it's just club racing, but I did, you know, bring home a third place, and I'm very, very happy with that. Wasn't supposed to get it because KC broke out. He broke a wire on his off his battery connector, and that's the only reason. And I was already a lap down anyways. So again, it was next time I want to earn it a little bit better than just getting it. And KC had a very bad break on that portion, and hopefully he'll be back up so I can actually race with him and against him and stuff like that. So but other than that, yeah, took up third place, so yay. All right, I will see you Pikes Peak RC Arena. I'm gonna get working on the truggy here. Golly, it's gonna be probably a slow weekend for me, so I'll probably do more videos and stuff for you guys. And yeah, we're just gonna have a great time. All right, don't forget, check out Cole out there in Pueblo with Hot Lap Hobbies. Also in Colorado Springs, we got Matt, Kyle, and Faster Laps. Don't forget, TNR is coming up September 14th with their TNR race. Also, Citadel or Chapel Hills Mall also has the indoor crawling track and little mini Z drift track, to include somewhere out in Black Forest or Falcon area. There's a guy out there. If you're watching this video, hit me up via Messenger, because I want to get to know more about your guys' track and stuff like that. There is a 10 scale drift track out there on Japanese tile, and I am a big fan of drifting on Japanese tile. And I'm going to tell you right now, drift cars, man, I'll tell you right now, they get about as expensive, if not more, than touring cars. All right, and I know about touring cars and how expensive they got. I got one of those custom built, sponsor built Schumacher MI9s done by Kyle, owned by Zeke, and that car is mine now, and it's still an awesome car I use for LMH. And then you got, going more north, you got 5280 again. Art just started up carpet racing up there, starting September 4th will be the first day for carpet racing. So if you guys are there, check it out. Also, 5280 is an on-road facility, to include a mini Z facility. They got a Worlds coming up for mini Z, so practice will be coming up here shortly for September as well too for that. Then you got Eric Adams. He's got Turf Wars coming out. He's got an awesome setup, new layout for the Turf Wars coming up. Not to mention his awesome glued track. I need to drive that track because I am a big fan of glued tracks. And then you got Graham Hill all the way up north, LRC. Golly, again, Graham Hill, that regional team manager for Techno. These guys right here. Yeah, go check them out at LRC for 8-scale racing and stuff like that. And he has a cool novice class, no different from Matt Kyle down here in Colorado Springs. All right, so again, those are our tracks here in Colorado. Hey, and I'm right now in South Carolina, and if you are in South Carolina, 3 tracks over here. You got Monk's Corner, you got Extreme RC Raceway, where I'm currently at, where I've been currently racing, and then you got Sumter, which is pretty much right up the road, about an hour away, and you guys can check out those tracks. There's a couple tracks up in Columbia, but I'm not going that far. I'll keep an hour radius from where I'm at here in Charleston, or North Charleston, I should say, and then yeah, that is where I am at. So again, Pikes Peak RC Arena, I missed you guys. I hope to see you guys soon. I hope to race with a bunch of y'all. I miss you guys. I will see you guys soon. I am Robbie with the Pikes Peak RC Arena. I'll see you guys again in the next video segment. All right, give me some ideas and stuff like that, what you guys want to talk about. All right, take care. I will see you guys. I'm gonna get back working on this truggy, do some dip fluid change, and we'll go from there. All right, I'll see you at Pikes Peak RC Arena. I am out.